Hey everyone, I am Mary Copeland. I'm your instructor for the semester, and I want to introduce myself and show you some important aspects of the class that I think will make your life easier. Let me show you first the textbooks. So this is asking the right questions. We do exercises from this book almost every week, so you want to be sure and get the textbook. And then the other novel that we're reading is Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson, and you'll want to get that book as well. We start reading that in the 5th or 6th week. The textbooks are free this semester, which is great. So I'm going to go to the class, show you about the free textbooks and some other important information. So here's the class and what it will look like when you log in. This will change occasionally. But this is the basics. Be sure to scroll down, anytime that you log in to a page. So first thing, let's talk about textbooks. Couple of things you can do. In the modules, I have added a link called Brightwave Course Materials. Our tech people have told me this link should work, so hopefully it will. However, as we know, technology does not always work as it should. So I've also included just a link on how to access the materials. There's some different things that you can do with your email, the Brightwave website, logging in for different things. There's even down at the bottom, there's like a customer support number. They have a virtual help desk. So hopefully with those different resources, you should be able to access your free books. So the other thing I'm going to do is talk about, where to go to do the work and such. And all of the work is done in the course modules. One of the cool things about Canvas that I really like is how when you first log in, over on the right-hand side, you get this to-do list. Love the to-do list. I think it's really helpful for students. However, it doesn't really tell the whole story because if you click on this discussion, which says it's due August 21st, if you click on it, it says, oh, the initial post is due Thursday, 2 peer responses are due Sunday. So for the discussions, all discussions are due on Thursday, the initial post, your first post, and then you have to respond to 2 peers, 2 of your classmates. You have till Sunday to do that. Canvas only allows us to put in 1 due date. They say they're going to change it, but that's the way it is right now. So with the 1 due date, it always puts in the latest due date. So just remember with your discussions, you always have to do that first post on Thursdays. And then also, rubrics are great. They show you where points are assigned and kind of demystifies the grading process. I use rubrics for just about every assignment. So you can look at the grading rubric and say, oh, okay, 6 points for my initial response, 4 points for the peer responses. And then you can read, the lengthy information. Well, it has to be 300 words, should be well developed, that sort of thing. Back to the home page. So you've got your to-do list over here, which is helpful. However, all the work for the class is done in the modules. So, you've got this area. I've got some student resources here. I've got your reading and exercise schedule. This shows you which chapters to read each week in the textbook or in the novel that we're reading, when the essays are due. This is subject to change, but I always let students know, in plenty of time if that information changes. I have MLA information here, which is helpful. All of our essays will be in MLA format. So if you're not familiar with it, there's, templates, there's videos to watch. And then getting off to a great start. You really want to get Office 365 if you haven't already. That helps you with submitting your papers in Microsoft Word, which is something you'll need to do. It's free to students. You know, I show you how to set your Canvas settings and profiles. So if you want notifications and that sort of thing. I do want to show you the course overview and what to expect. So this just bullet points, right? We've got a total of 4 essays. The 4th essay is a 7 to 9 page research paper. Most week there's going to be a discussion where you'll have to make an initial post and then respond to 2 peers. Almost every week there's an exercise from the textbook. Usually on Sundays, you'll see a new module be posted with exercises and any additional readings. We'll read the novel Just Mercy, and then there's a midterm and a final exam. That's just, you know, a condensed version of all the different things, you know, the major assignments that we'll be doing. And then here's our first week's assignment, so you can access the assignments here. And, you know, a lot of times with a discussion, sometimes there's something I'm asking you to read here. There's something I'm asking you to watch as far as a video goes. And then let me show you the syllabus. So this is the contact information. This class is completely remote. There's no times that we meet, any specific times. I always post the week's work on Sunday and usually have a week for the shorter assignments, 2 weeks for longer ones. And there's my office on campus and then my virtual office hours. Those links are on the homepage. And then I've got this information, which is some course policies. You know, what's my late work policy? What are the student learning outcomes and such? And some of this you'll need to look up to take the syllabus quiz. So I hope the format that I've got it in is helpful for you. Instead of having to like sift through a long syllabus, I just created links to that information. One thing I want to show you is how much time will this class take. So this is a 4-unit class. So if you were taking this class on campus, you'd have you'd have like a Tuesday, Thursday from 2 to 4. So you'd have 4 hours of in-class work. Plus then there's 8 hours of outside of class work each week. So that's a total of 12 hours a week that the gauge is in order to be successful in that class. I think that can vary from student to student, depending on your learning style and how much time you spend on things as far as reading and writing goes. But I think it's a really good gauge to think about. That's, you know, an average. I think some weeks it will be more, and I think some weeks it will be less. But that's kind of an average. But, you know, it helps you with thinking about, well, how many other classes am I taking? What are my work commitments, family commitments, all of those things. So you kind of know where you're at with this class anyway. I think that's everything. I've probably left something out, but if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them, you know, move around in the class, get familiar with it. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Just drop me an email and I will talk to you soon, and I look forward to our semester together. Bye-bye.